This episode is brought to you by In the Crew 512, Austin's first and only streetwear brand. If you're from Austin or even if you just love the city, make sure you check out inthecrew.com. Use the code HALFTIME for 15% off your entire order. Now, enough of me talking. Enjoy the show. Welcome back to another episode of Halftime Company, man. I am sitting next to my brother, somebody who I've known for over 10 years, and this man has been such a blessing to me, and I'm very proud of him to see how he's maneuvered and accomplished a lot of things in his life. And I will say, he has probably one of the best green thumbs I've ever seen, ever. Second to me, probably. But with that said, man, I'm so excited to welcome to the family and introduce my man, my brother, Mr. Kossi. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. Good, blessed, happy to be here. Happy
Oh.
for you to be here.
Man, thank
First
you
and
for
foremost.
letting me pull up to Denver, bro. In
Man.
the plant room, man.
Hey.
What's going on?
You
Ooh, I smell that. I smell that little aroma. It's like a
feel me?
it's like a sweet. I don't know how you. First off, I don't know how you keep all these damn plants so green, man. I'm looking around. I'm just like, I can't believe how many plants do you have in your house?
Got about 400 houseplants all throughout the house. So yeah, about 400.
And that's probably taking up like this is your love life.
Yeah. What?
That's like most of your
What?
day watering all these plants.
Yeah, but I used to have just like a watering day,
Mhm.
and it used to take me like all day. Like I would take a Saturday to just like plant care mainly, from watering, repotting, pruning, all of that stuff. And then now I have a process that's a lot better. I still have a day where I take, Saturday or Sunday, I pick one of the two, and then I go through all my plant care. It's taking like 2-3 hours. But now I kind of just plant care as I go.
Yeah.
So if I'm walking around the house and I see something,
Boom.
I try to take care of it then, and then keep going. I see it, boom, clip, look a little sad, a little water, and then when I have my full plant care days, it's not too much.
That's dope, man. So real quick, I want to start from the beginning so our family
Okay.
can really get to know you a little bit. So if you wouldn't mind, tell the family like where you from, you know what I'm saying,
Okay.
where you went to school, what you do now, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. So I'm from Togo, so that's in West Africa. I was born in Togo, lived there for about 9 years. So I've been in the States for right about 20 years now, since '05. So about 11 years now. And I grew up in Denver, majority of the metro area, Aurora, Parker, you name it. I've been a little bit all over Denver for a long time. I met you in Gunnison.
Yep.
My first year of college. I remember going to Western. Man, I remember going to Western. That's where I met you. I met Colton, a couple of pretty cool
Yep.
guys, and everything. I transferred after a year. Went to school in Arizona to continue to run track, Northern Arizona, and then I moved back to Colorado right after a little bit after college, because I think Colorado is really one of those places where you get a little bit of everything. In about April, I could go snowboarding, I could be on the lake, I could be out in the city, all in the same day.
Yeah.
Right, because you get access to the mountains, the reservoirs, the
Yep.
city life, and then I also think, eventually I want a family of my own. And I think there's not really a better place for me to raise a family than Denver from the things that I've experienced. So I moved back here, started my career, and I've lived many lives. I've lived many lives to where I'm at today.
That's what's up. But it
Yeah.
all kind of culminated into the person you are today, man. And I think
100%.
That's what's dope.
100%, yeah.
And so you moved out. So after college, and so how was the experience actually at NAU? Because obviously we know the experience at Western.
Yeah.
But when you transfer, obviously you did really well at track there, and y'all
Yeah.
won some conference championships. But how was the experience at NAU?
The experience at NAU was surreal. I think coming from a winning culture. I went to a high school here that's a top high school. Western, even at Western, we
won.
even though it was a D2 school, it was a predominant D2 school. Going to NAU, it was a little bit of a shift for me. You know, I remember when we were at Western, because I was the fastest kid to graduate from my 2014 year. I went to Western. It's a D2 school. You know, I did whatever I wanted to do. You know, I could have a track meet on Saturday. Friday night, we in the hotel. I'm hotboxing the shower. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
Just all that stuff. I went to NAU. Man, maybe like 2 months into my first season, drug test after drug test after drug test. I remember waking up one day. I get a text message. It was like, "Hey, you've been selected for a random drug test." I picked up a gallon of water.
You just
I'm
chugged
chugging. By my second class, I'm 2 jugs in. It's like noon. My appointment was at like 12:15, 12:30. I get there. My pee is diluted.
Yeah, straight. Yeah.
Diluted. So I go in. They're like, "Hey, this is diluted. You're gonna have to come back." Man, I go buy some cherry pills.
Whatever you can.
I don't even know what worked, but I did everything.
Everything.
You know, so I did that. I thought I was sweet. It's like 2 weeks later, get selected again. I put the weed down.
I'm done.
I put
done.
Yeah, I put the weed down, but it was insane because they have a great, a top tier distance program, and me and some of my best friends now were brought in as sprinters to help the program as a whole.
Right.
You know, and so I could kind of see why we was getting drug tested and stuff like that, because it was like, oh, y'all, whoa.
What's going on?
What's going on? Y'all really don't have sprinters like that.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, we trying to build something right now. Yeah.
And so I kind of shifted my life a lot. I think, you know, going from like Western, it's like wasted state.
Yep, that's what it is.
Western was called wasted state. So all I knew how to do was party and be an athlete. Party, be an athlete. Party, be an athlete. I get at NAU, party, be an athlete. I was taking my test, but I wasn't going to class. I didn't even make D2 nationals. My first year at NAU, make D1 nationals, and our relay team, our 4x1 was the first team to make nationals for the Big Sky Conference. That moment changed my whole life and a lot of things for me, because I had a 2.2 GPA at that point, and I needed a 2.3 GPA to compete, to be legible.
Oh, yeah.
And so going from somebody who, you know, I was more selfish when I first got there, but then I meet these amazing guys who I know the type of work we put in every single day, and they make, you know, we qualify for nationals, and I can't go support them. I can't be there. And then now you got some alternate in there for them, and they about to get, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They about to get cooked. They about to get rolled, and
You
it
can't do
wasn't
nothing
fair,
about it.
and it wasn't fair to them.
Yeah.
And so I was like, if it was just me completely, I would probably took that L. But
Yeah.
now I have other people that depend on me and rely on me.
Right.
And I also care about them, not just as teammates, but those are my brothers now. Those are my best friends now. I got my life together, man. I went to every single professor. I was on my knees. damn near on my knees. I was able to get my grades up and everything. I finished with like a 2.4 for the, you know, that semester. I was able to compete, do all of that. And my boys, this was one of the first times I had the proper, you know, black role models, you know, they have do-rags on one day, suit and tie the next day,
You know what I'm saying?
you know the type. And they started like, you know what, it's Sunday, we got to go to the library. Right, and they started holding me accountable, you know, and I made a promise to myself. I was like, I'm gonna graduate with over a 3.0.
Yep.
And I couldn't get more than like 2 Bs or something like that. Man, I was on the dean's list every single day. You know, every single semester after that, I was on the dean's list. And my life ain't ever been so easy. I was doing extra credit, and I had like 97 in the class. I was doing extra credit. But my life ain't never been so easy because I wasn't always like behind trying to catch up. And now today, my life is a lot easier now because I'm like, I know what it feels like to just be on top of stuff.
Right. You
get
got
what I'm
that
saying?
discipline there.
Yeah, but from like the team culture, the, you know, the practice culture, the atmosphere NAU in itself created for me, from the people, from the program, from the community, you know, it's a track town. So the love they showed you and things like that, it make you want to be a different person.
Yeah.
If you're not already the type of person you want to be,
Right.
you know. So I definitely say that NAU experience has such a big role that it played into who I am today.
Yeah, great foundation.
Yeah,
Right.
100%.
And like, what would you say that through that discipline and through your brothers holding you accountable, would you say that that's like kind of correlating in your job now as far as owning a business? You know what I mean? Being a content creator, having over 400 houseplants. Do you think that that discipline kind of shaped you to be able to do what you do today?
Oh, 100%. I don't think most people process how hard it is being a D1 athlete, a full-time student, while you're still trying to have a social life, while you're still trying, just,
Don't throw work in there, right?
yeah, while you're still trying to take care of yourself. There's so many different pieces of it, but being a D1 athlete is a full part-time. That's like 20 to like 30, 40 hours of your week.
Yeah.
While you're still managing a lot of other things. So that shaped me to who I am to be today. I think I've had 1 year since I've left college where I've only worked one job.
Dang. Yeah.
Okay, peep that.
Yeah.
Where I've only worked one job, and I've always had two different things going on at least. Right. I was managing a company when I was managing a company when I got out of college. I was Ubering on the side.
Oh, dang.
Ubering on the side. I switched jobs to become, I switched jobs. What was I doing when I switched jobs? I switched jobs to go be a national business development rep for Dish Network because it was piloting a role. And I was like, yeah, I like that. It looked good on my resume. The bread was good. Throughout that, I started selling payment systems.
Oh.
I started selling payment systems, business to business on the side while I was doing that. So I've always I know a grind,
Yeah.
I'm also African, so I'm also African, so one thing about
we
know how to work.
Yeah, y'all know
how to work.
Y'all know how to work, boy. Oh my gosh, that's
I'm
funny.
African, so we know how to work. So if I never, I think if I never had the opportunity to be just so multifaceted to where I'm always having to be on multiple grinds at the same time, I wouldn't be able to be an entrepreneur, a content creator. I'm a full-on entrepreneur today, where before I was in corporate while I was still trying to be an entrepreneur, right? I coach a high school track team, right? I'm the head coach of a high school track team. If you ask me how I did the things that I did today, I wouldn't be able to tell you. But I know how to wake up and get stuff done that's important to me.
Right.
Yeah.
The opportunities are gonna come if you're working and you're grinding. Right?
100%.
Things are just gonna fall into place, and if you're ready for it, then you're just gonna move forward. Right.
100%.
But oftentimes, like I was talking about with Hunter, people can sometimes get complacent with things.
Yep.
And if you don't be stubborn, if you don't continue to push, then that opportunity is just gonna pass you right by.
100%.
You know what I mean? And speaking of which, now that you're a full-time entrepreneur, what got you into your love for all these plants, man? What was it? What was the first moment where you like, I bought a plant and then I bought another one, I couldn't stop, and then I just had to start sharing this journey?
Man, my ex, throughout the pandemic, that I used to live with at the time, she loved orchids. And she would bring orchids home all the time. They would die, she would just replace them. I had bread, I didn't have that much bread, and she loved the properly arranged orchids. I'm like, babe, you spending groceries on orchids. I was like, you know what? Let me learn how to make them rebloom. So I spent I have an addictive personality. So I spent 4 or 5 months just learning, about orchids and stuff. I started learning about other plants too. And I made the first one rebloom. And let me tell you, there's no better feeling than putting so much time and effort into something, and then you finally starting to see the fruits of what you was reaping. So I was excited because I thrive off of accomplishments. I'm a goal-oriented person, so I was like, yeah, I did that. So I did that. I moved into this place. I bought my first house, and I was like, millennial gray. You see so much color in my space today.
Yeah. It was not like that.
A year and a half ago, it was not like that. It looked like a hotel. It was a millennial gray hotel, no character. You walked in here, you wouldn't know I lived in here if you know my personality type.
Definitely, 100%.
But I was like, the only color I'm gonna have is plants. So I had like 30 plants in my house, decorated. It's like the little pop-up
Yeah.
colors. So it was plants, and I really didn't rock with plants like that. Other than I learned about a lot of plants. You get what I'm
Yep.
saying? And so that's how I kind of got into plants. But it was more of just like, you know what, when you in a learning phase, you become, a little obsessive, and I didn't know I loved plants.
Yeah.
I became a franchise consultant for Remax. And in that time, I put together a brand development strategy because one of the franchise owners was like, I'm sending out newspapers and da 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 da. I'm like 23 at this point. I said, newspapers?
You sitting on
I
newspapers?
said, newspapers. I was like, no, we got a bigger problem if
Yeah.
your marketing strategy is
newspaper,
newspapers.
yeah.
And it's not an elderly, it's not a retirement community you're serving to and stuff. So I put together a brand development strategy for social media because it's free.
Yeah.
I was 23 at the time, and I'm trying to tell somebody who's owned their business for 20, 10, 30 years how to run their business. Mind you, this is the Midwest.
Right.
And they're looking at me like, who's this little... I can't even... They're looking... yeah. So they're looking at me like, who's this little YN?
Yeah.
Trying to tell me what to do. Like, you ain't never sell real estate. You ain't all
Yeah.
that stuff. So I just needed credibility. So I chose a hobby. So I started plant content, plant education, the plant humor, plant engagement, and all that stuff. And the way my whole life changed in a lot of aspects to where the more I learned about plants, the more I learned about myself. Right? Plant care started becoming self-care because I see what happens when I take care of my plants. I see what happens to me when I'm taking care of my plants. I see what's going on with me when I'm not taking care of my plants. And I'm like, man. But I started creating a lot more and more and more. And the strategy worked. Majority of the strategy was just consistency.
That's it.
And being authentic. And so I think at some point I just became a plant daddy.
That's crazy though. Like
Yeah.
you created the strategy for somebody else, but then you say, you know what? Like if y'all don't want to use it, I'll use it, and I'll do it for something that I like to do.
Yeah.
And now you're reaping the rewards and the fruit of your labor simply because you just said, you know what, I'm gonna do this because I love to do this.
100%. 100%. Yeah.
Man, you know what's crazy? I think that sometimes people can look at things and be like, oh, well, I love this hobby or I love this thing. It could be like birding. And they'll be like, well, I can't share this content because nobody else is going to like it. Nobody else is going to rock with it. But from what I found is also being a content creator, you put out what you put out.
100%.
Somebody, even if you get one person that likes it, that's really all that matters, bro. Like, I know we want to get like the million views, the thousands and thousands of likes, but if you're doing something and it makes you happy, and you can kind of see how it's correlating in your life, and you want to share that with people, do it.
Do it. Yep. 100%. I find, it's funny you say that because I think a lot of times when people think about content, think about being a creator, an influencer, a lot of them they want to do it for the wrong reasons. Right? I never woke up a day in my life where I was like, I want to be a content creator.
Yeah.
Right? And so growing up, I always thought, I had my father's a great role model. I have got a great mentor who's a great role model. I'm like, I have an idea of what type of life I want to be.
Yeah.
I want to have, what type of life I want to have. And so I've always worked towards that. And for me, it was, I want to work a job where my kids don't really know how good, they know they got it, but they never really process how good they got it, right? I could go to soccer games, piano recitals. I could always be present, but I'm doing my thing on the side, you know what I mean? And so before, when people used to ask me, oh, what do you do for work? I would always just say real estate and never say content creation, right? Because it was a little bit odd. But with content creation, I don't think a lot of people understand all that comes from it. They think you just start creating content and you start making bread.
Like that.
They don't understand it's a process. I imagine having over 100,000 followers and you post and you get 6 likes. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Imagine posting every single day and it's like 100 views, 600 views. Randomly you get 10,000 views.
Random.
It's and so you can't really do it if you're looking for some instant gratification from other people. If you're gonna be on social media, you've got to do it because you love it.
Love it.
In a sense, it's almost like journaling, right? I used to write a lot. I used to journal a lot, and I converted it over to video journaling. So creating content for me now is almost like that's how I express myself
Yeah.
with the world, right? That's how I express myself with those who follow me, and that's how I educate people or try to,
Yep.
helps. If I could put a smile on somebody's face today, I'm good,
Good.
right? And so if you want to be a content creator and you're just doing it for the clout, for the likes, for the bread, good luck.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Because I mean, honestly, but even then, like even if you get that, like, are you gonna be satisfied and happy, right? Because if everything is based off of content creation, getting money, becoming famous, what happens when Instagram go away?
Man, you better find YouTube. You better find TikTok. I'm playing.
Something.
No,
But you get what I'm saying,
but
like.
when all that stuff goes away, I think a lot of people are gonna have a rude awakening, especially from a content creator standpoint. If social media goes away one day, a lot of creators they're fucked.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Straight up.
Right, and I say that because we see so many shifts and transitions in marketing, in advertisement, right? Once upon a time, it used to be newspapers.
Yep.
Once upon a time, it used to be billboards. Once upon a time, it used to be commercials. Today, it's content creation. Tomorrow,
Who knows?
it might be an AI generated X, Y, and Z,
Yep.
right? You don't know what's going to happen in 5, 10, 20 years. And so I think a lot of people will have a rude awakening. Hence why, for me, for example, when I left corporate, I was like, I can always go back to corporate.
Right.
I could never create content again. While I'm creating content, I can envision myself being 45, 55, creating content.
Right.
Right.
100%.
So I'm starting a business. I used to sell credit card processors, which is a residual based income where I still get paid from it today, right?
Yeah.
So I'm always thinking like the what ifs.
Right.
How do I set myself up for success in the future? Which I think a lot of content creators also maybe just, they leave corporate without a plan.
Right.
And it may be good now,
But then what happens?
but what happens afterwards?
Right.
Right. So
And it's, especially if you're not seeing the success from it, then it's like, man, like, am I gonna keep going or do I want to keep doing this? You know what I mean?
the answer is always keep going.
Yep.
I don't care what nobody says. The answer is always keep going. I feel like too many people stop or give up right before they have their biggest breakthroughs. Believe it or not, right? It's and this may be a cliche or whatever, redundant. A lot of times when I think about doing things, it's there's the meme of the two miners.
They're mining.
They're mining, right? I was mining for 2 years. I ain't never seen a penny from social media. Mining 2 years, and it was days where I'm like, I can't do this no more. Like, I'm not getting paid for this. I wake up, I'm posting once a day, twice a day, sometimes 7 days a week.
Right.
I'm not seeing a lick
Of nothing.
of nothing. Whole time I'm also working a full corporate job.
Right. And so you got the stress.
And
of
it's
that.
like, why am I even doing this? You get what I'm saying? It's tough. But then one day, I was like, you know what? Actually, that's going to be $2,000. I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, that's going to be $2,000. They're like, okay. I said,
What?
what?
For real?
But that $2,000, now I could wake up today, $48,000 deal, done, signed.
Boom.
And that's somebody's salary that's probably going to take me a week, a month to make.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And so if I would have stopped, for 2 years I was creating content. I ain't never seen a lick.
Right.
Today, it funds my whole lifestyle.
Right. Because you kept going.
Because I kept going. So I think too often a lot of people stop because they want the instant gratification.
Yeah.
Where just keep going.
You have to. Like me and my buddy Nick, like we started this 2022. We started in 2020, but really didn't start really doing it until 2023.
Yeah.
Right, so that's 3 years. We haven't seen no money from it.
You feel me?
Right? But what are we doing? We're traveling to Atlanta on our own money. We're traveling to Denver on our own money.
Yeah.
We believe in this so much that we're going to be stubborn about it.
Yep.
And we're going to keep going until, and I mean, shoot, recently we just sat down with Don with Kent. He's a food influencer. We posted 3 reels. I think they got like 300,000 views total on all of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, and now we got a whole bunch of new followers.
Yeah.
Comments crazy. Other videos that it's like residual, right? Like the other videos that we posted before, now people are going down and watching all those other ones, right? So it's like, we wouldn't have, if we would have stopped before we would have got to this point, I'm not saying like from what we did is something's going to come out of it. But now people are asking questions. Now people are starting to notice us, right?
Yeah.
And if I feel like as long as we keep going, then that breakthrough will finally happen.
Yep.
Real quick, I wanted to ask you, since we're talking about these plants, I know outdoor plants.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about indoor plants.
Okay.
What is it like? How do you care for them? Like, what do you do? Like, do they need water all the time? Like what is it? Cause I kill every indoor plant.
If you use the outdoor plants, and you're trying to take care of them like indoor plants, that's probably where you're going wrong. You can't water majority indoor plants every single day.
Okay.
Majority of them need to be watered once a week.
Okay.
Some of them once a month.
Dang.
You get what I'm saying? What do I got around me? Like, this is like a once a week water. You know, you could water a monstera like once a week. Maybe you could push like 2 weeks, and you're gonna be all right. You feel me? Like, you got a ZZ plant right here. That's like once a month. That's like a wide range, right? But you also got to take. It's winter. I gotta water less now.
Ooh, okay.
It's summer. I gotta water
More.
a little bit. You know, maybe every 4 to 5 days. Figuring out. You know, there's low light tolerant plants. So you get a lot of people all the time who's like, oh, I don't have no light in my place. I need low light. I need low light tolerant plants. And now there's like a stigma that some plants don't need light. Every single plant needs light.
Every single one.
The more light most plants get, the more they thrive.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right.
And that's probably one of my problems.
Yeah, and so I think I'm a visual learner, so taking care of houseplants is very easy for me because I could look at a plant and be like, oh, those leaves look a little soft.
Right.
Right. They're a little, they're curled up.
Right. Droopy or whatever.
They're droopy.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And I'm like, okay, it probably needs water. And majority of the time, that's your solution. It probably needs water. Ooh, you get a little brown tips, but it's right next to a window. You probably just got to pull it away from a window. So when I talk about the plant care and the self-care, I really, really mean that because a lot of times we avoid so many signals within ourselves, within other people. And we, it's happening, but you continue to avoid it. When if you just took a second to say, what do you need? Or if you observe a little bit, you can normally find out exactly what a plant need or what a person need or what you need personally too. So plants are easy, humans are easy. I think all you need to know and understand is, do you need water? Are you getting enough sun? Do I need to move you? Or do I need to just leave you alone for a week or two and see if anything changes?
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
I like how you correlate that with life though. Because I mean, it's so true that you can, I think discernment is a real thing, and I'm so glad that God gave me that because I can literally look at somebody and see if they just need somebody to talk to for a second, or and that's that watering, right? Or if they need somebody to brighten their day, just be like, hey man, you look good today. You know what I'm saying, or hey, I cannot stand this man. But you know what I mean? Like it's so nice to be able to be operating in something that's paying your bills, that's taking care of your lifestyle, that's giving you purpose, and it also is something fun that you love to do. Also, when it comes to these plants, like, do you have to add like, so I know you water, sun, do you have to add like, because I know outdoor plants, might have to add like nitrogen or other stuff like that. Like, is there like certain products that you use for it, or how does that look?
Product wise, Every plant's a little bit different, but most of them are pretty similar.
Okay.
So product wise, you're gonna need your fertilizers, your fiber gloves or fiber gloves or towels or pruners, just essentials,
Okay.
right? But then it gets a little bit deeper into specific plants that they may need slightly different soils, right? You have a bonsai, it's gonna need a different soil than a calathea. It's gonna need a different soil than an anthurium.
Because they're from different parts, right?
Different, all different parts. Majority of my plants are more tropical plants. I
Okay.
like tropical plants, but majority of them will, every single plant needs a little bit of different thing depending on what your goal is. For a
Okay.
common house plant, they all need about the same soil, water once a week or so.
Same stuff,
Yeah, you're fine. Fertilize, spring and summer times, I normally fertilize more. Winter, I try not to fertilize
Okay.
unless a plant is having a lot of new growth.
Okay.
Yeah,
And do y'all? So you own? It's only plants, right?
only plants. Yeah,
Only plants, and that's here in Denver.
100%. Yep,
Awesome.
in Denver,
And then is that mostly indoor plants?
all indoor plants.
All indoor plants.
All indoor plants. I don't sell any outdoor plants. If I ever sell any outdoor plants, it'll most likely be like a hibiscus plant,
Oh, okay. I got you. Yeah.
or something like to that sort that can live indoors
Right.
and outdoors. But I'm primarily an indoor type of person.
Nah, that's smooth.
I live in a townhouse. I don't have my HOA deals with my yard. So this year I'm actually doing a little patio garden. But then the tough part about that is summer is over
Oh, yeah.
and then they're
They're
gone.
Yeah, because it gets so cold out here.
So I'm gonna do a little patio garden this year. I have hibiscus plants in the mail right now as we speak. Right. So I'm gonna start testing out some things like that. But yeah.
Damn, okay. And then is it mostly tropical too? Plants like kind of like what you have here.
Yeah.
There.
100%.
Yeah.
There are gonna be a lot of similarities. My store manager, Daria, we're completely polar opposites when it comes to plant taste,
Okay. Well, that's good though.
which is really good.
That's good.
I have another new hire who's a succulent and cacti person. If you go into the plant shop today, you see probably 1 or 2 cacti or succulents, and everything's tropicals. But bringing on somebody, I think growth is so important and being open minded is so important. So I couldn't hire 3 of me.
Right.
Because then you never have any change, you never have any growth.
Right.
But having somebody who's a polar opposite with the same goal, great, that's growth. Bringing in somebody else who now is in a different world with succulents and cacti that we never deal with, add something new.
Yep.
We're able to educate him. He's able to educate us and introduce new ideas, new things to us. And as a plant educator, for example, not just for only plants, but to an audience of 200,000 people today, 200,000 people today, 10 million people tomorrow.
100%.
You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
That diversity is extremely important because it may not be for me, but me being knowledgeable on it is going to be for somebody else and it's going to help somebody else.
Yeah, 100%. And what's crazy is, Hunter also said this. Guy, give you another shout out, Hunter. He said that 3 strands are not easily broken. Right. So now that you not only yourself and somebody else, but now you got 3 people, all 3 different expertise. It's going to, especially when y'all get to a bigger space.
Yeah.
And then now you have, we got the tropicals over here, and then we got more succulents over here, and then we got polar opposite over here. It's just gonna be able to bring in so many different people, and because y'all are all experienced in it, people will be able to go to you and trust you because they're not gonna just see 3 of you. They're gonna see, oh well, Kossi might not know this, but that person does. So let me just go ask them, and then vice versa, and it just all works. But y'all also do more stuff than just sell plants, right? Like I think I saw like a plant bingo.
Oh yeah,
man. How's that going?
Man, good. Plant bingo is good. I don't have to spend a lot of money on marketing dollars. I don't spend money on marketing dollars. I'm marketing.
Yeah. Yeah, you the market, right?
Yeah. And so for the last 4 months, I've spent money on Plan Bingo, right? Traditional marketing is really not my thing. So there's a lot of different ways for me to market. But also, one of my biggest reasons for starting a plant shop was to build a community.
Yep.
So for the last 4 months, I've been hosting Plan Bingo where people just come in. There's no, they don't pay nothing. They don't, there's plants, there's wine.
Mm-hmm.
We get a DJ Mock. Shout out DJ Mock, one of my homeboys since middle school. So he comes spin the track, and Plan Bingo get lit.
For real?
I feel like at the plant shop, when people come in, they expect a very vibrant energy person from me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, all due respect, I'm not always this loud, obnoxious, funny personality.
Yeah.
I live whole lives outside of the internet. You get what I'm saying? So they get to me, you see, a lot of people see me and they're like, oh, he's just an influencer. And they would never know. I used to oversee Wisconsin and Indiana real estate, Remax real estate franchise. They would never know. They would never know. I used to be a full suit, with it's me and the white man, and this is, you get what I'm saying? It's me, hey, you get what I'm saying? So I used to and stuff like that. So they would never know all the different lives I've lived, or and stuff like that. So Plant Bingo allows me to, for the people who come in the plant shop, I get to connect with them a lot
and be more of yourself,
and be a little bit more of myself. They get to know me. But then Plant Bingo, they probably get more of like the same person they see on social media, because they get wine, I get tequila.
I get that reposado.
Yeah. Hey, so they get wine and I get tequila, and they get the high energy, And for somebody who, for me, I'm all about the vibes.
Yep.
I'm all about destruction. And destruction in a good way, right?
No,
I think
100%.
when everything just flows as it should all the time, it gets a little boring. So Plan Bingo, people come, the DJ's turned up, the people are turned up. I could be Kevin Hart in a different life. The tequila is, the tequila is flowing. The
I would
jokes,
say Eddie Murphy probably, but go ahead, go ahead with Kevin if you want to.
Good morning, my
Good morning, my neighbors.
No. Hey, I know no more Coming to America jokes, man. No
said we done with that. Y'all don't do that to me no more, man.
No more. I don't think anybody has ever experienced trauma like an African kid who moved to America.
And the first thing you hear...
No. Middle school years. Like middle school and high school years, crazy. They be like, you look like under the bed.
Oh, no, they didn't do that to you.
They be like, smile. I be like, I'm with you. Hey.
You like midnight.
Bro, what? They be like, I'll be like,
real?
You
look. Wait, did you already knew English though before you got
No.
So you were learning in middle school with all them kids when everybody already like ruthless.
Yes. They're like, what did your hut look like? Look. But you know what? Being a dark-skinned African kid in middle school in America, brutal. But it's what makes you. Because today, being a dark-skinned man, hey,
it's cool.
You know what I'm saying? Now y'all, they don't switch up now. They don't.
Now they want to be like
they
you.
Don't,
you know what I'm saying?
You get what I'm saying? Now they don't switch up. But yeah, no, back to Plant Bingo.
American kids, we gotta do better, man.
Be better. Plant Bingo, it's been thrilled. You bring a lot of, it builds a community. You bring a lot of people together.
Yes.
We'll stop and we'll have like a karaoke mashup.
Oh, damn.
We'll have a finish the lyrics. We'll have a dance battle. We have
it.
All these things, and people, they still win plans. They win apparel. They win, gift cards, or whatever the case may be. One of my favorite things to do, Denver gets a lot of people who move from all over the place.
Right.
So just about every Plant Bingo, we do it's a younger crowd. So we do ask who's new to Denver, who just moved here recently, and they come up, they say a little thing about themselves, da 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 da.
That's dope.
We do make them bust a dance move after they introduce themselves. But you get people who come back to playing bingo after that made a friend from playing bingo, and now they're there together, and it's like,
and they might be bringing friends.
You get what I'm saying? So it's very cool because it becomes like you get a little family oriented type of vibe.
Yes.
And because I'm just starting out, you don't got 100 seats.
Right.
You don't have 100 proper seats. It's like people are like shoulder to shoulder. They're getting to have to now share spaces with like other. It's like back in the days when like pre-COVID, where like people just vibed.
Yeah, everybody was in the same space and it was cool.
Yeah, you know so it's cool because it's just like a little disoriented, but it's a vibe.
Yeah,
you know.
That's what's
so
up. It's dope that you get to be more of yourself there. And I mean, I hope people would understand that if they just come in the shop, you might be in business mode.
Yeah.
Business mode, right? So you might not be that outgoing fun person because you got a list of things that you got to do.
Right.
But then when it comes to playing bingo, you're there because you're building a community and most importantly, an audience.
Yep.
Right? And I think a lot of content creators can forget that aspect. They want to do a lot of stuff, but where's your audience?
Yeah.
Country Wayne, he started doing social media. He does skits. He makes $600,000 a month off of content creation.
Yeah.
And I remember him saying, he was like, it wasn't anything I did. It's just because I targeted an audience and they all rock with me.
Yeah.
And they're all loyal to me. And they have put me in position to where I can continue to make content that they can see themselves in.
Yeah.
And I think like you're building a space and a community and an audience where people can come not only play plant bingo, have a drink, meet new people.
Yeah.
They might go plant shopping on the outside or maybe go get a drink somewhere because they met at your space. So now their correlation or their founding, them coming together was that only plants.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that will always be a thing with them. Like, hey, we got to go back there. We got to go back to the next plant bingo. Like, we got to do that. I need to pull up to a plant bingo.
No, you got to. When I say, for somebody who used to be in the streets heavy.
Oh, I know.
Oh.
Because I was right there with you.
For somebody who used to be in the streets so heavy, now, being a business owner, an entrepreneur now, my priorities have shifted.
Yeah.
So now I'm more about cultivating more wholesome relationships, wholesome environments, and things like that. So being in a space like Plant Bingo, man, it's insane. Man, it's amazing. We'll do next weekend. I'm doing plants and Pilates on the block, the dairy block. We're doing plants and Pilates, and now you get to see all these people who come and they vibe. They do something a little different than just like being out in the streets.
Yeah.
So it's cool. It's smooth. I enjoy it. I love it. I get to be myself. I get to meet a lot of great people. It's also it's very diverse.
But plants. Everybody. That's dope.
Yeah, if you ever think about Comic-Con, think about Comic-Con is like a very diverse. You get a lot of diversity. Same with plant people. Very diverse. And so being in Denver, if you know Denver's not diverse.
Yeah.
But to be able to curate a space where you
get diversity,
so much diversity, not just of color, but of interest, of just like different people, different backgrounds, and all these different things. Different, I'm younger, so I do tend to attract a younger crowd sometimes. Last Plant Bingo, I had people in there, 40, 50, 60 plus in there. I need to start making them 18 plus or 21 plus. I got to start making them 21 plus because it was, it was a little like 9-year-old kid in there. And I'm like, y'all asses bit. And
you have to stop. You're like, man.
And I'm like, note to self. Like, note to self. We got to 21 plus this. And stuff like that. But yeah, no, it's been cool, man.
That's dope, bro. I'm so proud of you, man, because that's amazing. And I know, like, you're right, Denver is not that diverse, but there is diversity here. It's just where does that diversity go?
Yeah.
Right.
You've got to, I think in Denver, there's diversity and it's scattered. right? Because we all normally tend to keep to ourselves because you don't know where to find your people.
Right.
And so I think it's a lot more people today who are curating a lot of groups. You know, like my boy Pines, he owns a coffee shop out here, Fit on Fifth, and he does like poetry nights and a lot of stuff like
Oh,
that.
dope.
So where you start having a lot of people find their group, their people, and things like that. So I think before when I was like, Denver's not a really diverse place, but I never really allowed myself to put myself in environments that are being curated for people who look like me, who sound like me, or who are different from me that I want to kind of experience their cultures, their vibes, and stuff like that. Either.
Yeah, that's what's up, bro. And you just said something. You said, like, think about Comic-Con and, like, hold on. So, because I know you. And, yeah, I know you know I'm about to ask you. I know you. And you are one of the biggest anime heads that I know.
Yeah.
So if you, and I haven't watched anime in a long time.
Yeah.
So if you had to tell me a show that I had to watch right now, and your people might get mad at you, what is it?
An anime one? Ooh. Okay. Knowing you, I feel like I always recommend anime based off of everybody's personality types.
Okay.
Knowing you would love something like Rent a Girlfriend.
Rent a Girlfriend?
Yeah.
Shit, I used to rent
It's
it.
Look,
right in my alley.
no. It's a show. It's an anime show called Rent a Girlfriend.
Okay.
If y'all ain't see it, watch it. Rent a Girlfriend.
Okay. I'm gonna watch it.
Straight comedy.
Bet.
Straight comedy. Okay. There's like cooking wars. Like it's all types of anime for all types of people. You feel me?
Yeah.
But I would say like Rent a Girlfriend for you personally is a solid one. I would say on like an entry level, you're just getting into anime. Death Note, it's a little bit more on the thriller, darker.
But I haven't
On the
watched
thriller, darker side, I think it's a hit for anybody because it just
sucks you in.
you just drawn in from the go. Little Hunter action.
Yeah.
You know, hey, shout out our boy Hunter. Hey, shout out our boy Hunter. Yeah. But no, Hunter. I play volleyball. I do a lot of things, many lives. I play in competitive volleyball leagues out here. Okay,
Are you serious?
I swear. 4v4s. That's how you know
Like
I'm
on
real.
sand or on the court?
Sand. That's how you know I'm real. I do grass too sometimes. But 4v4, that's how you know I'm real. Not no 6v6, 4v4. That's how you know I'm real.
So you be running around.
Athlete. I be like, psych. But I watch too much anime. Haikyuu.
Oh.
There's a volleyball anime, Haikyuu. Okay.
Okay.
Every time I would go play basketball, every time I would go play volleyball, they're like, "Oh my god, have you always played?" I'd be like, "No, I just watch anime." All because they're like, "Hey." All because I watched a volleyball anime, I'd be like, "Yeah, I know I could do this.
I can do this, and
I'd be like,
and they be doing crazy stuff.
And because I got bounced and I be floating, I got too much. I got all this time to think when I be up in the air. I be like, you feel me? So, but yeah, no, it's.
Oh man,
I would say it's a lot of anime that's not just like your regular trendy anime like Naruto and
right.
stuff
I think
like
that's
that.
what most people know, right? But they
Yeah.
don't know that there's so much like different genres. Almost, they think anime is just one genre of like Naruto,
people are like
Dragon Ball
Naruto,
Z.
Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people don't even know like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, things like that.
Right.
There, majority of those things are anime.
Yep.
And most people don't even process it. But once you start getting into it,
Then
like I don't even like baseball.
Mm.
I don't like baseball. I be watching Ace of Diamonds like crazy. Storyline insane. You get what I'm saying? So like, if you ain't ever watched anime and you think anime is just for like some weirdos,
like a cartoon, and that's
it's
it.
not. Anime is not a cartoon. It's also not hentai. Whatever. However.
Oh
you
yeah,
say.
yeah.
Anime is not hentai. I think a lot of times people confuse the anime for like hentai.
Yeah.
That's not what it is. That's not what it is. The anime is just like adult I would say it's animated. It's a different way of animation with the most insane storytelling. You get what I'm
And you can
saying?
pretty much do anything, right? Because you can create that scene.
You can, man. Yes, look, I got a Nani tattoo. Nani's like they be like in anime they be dramatic. They be like Nani, like, you know.
What's that mean though?
It means what?
Oh, that's all it means. What?
Yeah, but they be like dramatic.
What?
What? Like Nani? Yeah, they be like Nani.
That's
So
dope.
when I was at NAU, I was in college. I was like, one day I'm gonna be drunk, and I'm gonna see a tattoo parlor.
Get that.
I'm gonna get a little Nani tattoo.
I see the question mark and the exclamation point.
Yeah, you see the exclamation, and they'd be like, you know, the little thing on their forehead.
Then when it pops up,
Yeah. So I was like, my boy Taylor, he called me. He's like, yo, I just got done with my tattoo early. He got like an hour to kill.
So you're like, I'm coming. I'm
I'm a couple drinks in, blood thin. Said,
do it.
it's like
I
5
don't
minutes.
care.
5
minutes?
Bro, he smacked that shit. I was out of there.
I'm gone.
I was out of there. And now I got a whole leg sleeve of anime like and stuff
and
like that.
Still be like,
you know, they be like.
But that's dope though, because I feel like that's a great like conversation starter.
No, but I always be in sweatpants and pants. I don't really wear
so
shorts.
People really don't see it.
So people don't. Every now and then they be like, "Is that the nine-tail seal on your kneecap?" I'd be like, "Yeah,
What's up?"
Yeah.
Oh man, I hope y'all heard that, because I think anime does get a bad rap, but I did watch anime, obviously outside of Dragon Ball Z and Yu-Gi-Oh! When I was growing up because of you at Western, right? So I started tapping into a little bit more, but I hadn't really like dove into it. Like, I listened to more comedy stand-ups, you know, Kevin Hart, Cat Williams, even though you called me both of them the other day.
Hey, we not even gonna go there. We ain't even gonna go there.
You gonna do me like that for real?
I ain't even gonna do you like that.
Oh man, but I did want to switch gears, because here at halftime, you know, we're all about making adjustments and changes and going back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
To become better people.
Yeah.
Did you have a halftime moment, or maybe moments, collective moments, that you're like, I need to go back to the drawing board and change my life, or I need to, because I know you kind of talked about with NAU, right? But like, was there any other moments that you had that really was like, I need to do this?
Yeah. I recently just turned 30. I didn't celebrate my 30th birthday like that, because I feel like I had my 30 moment at 29.
Okay.
So before 29, I had already made a plan, because I'm like, man, I want a family one day.
Yeah.
And the life I'm living now, I can't provide to my family. You know, I couldn't live this life and have a family. I also wasn't in church, and I grew up in church. My middle name is Emmanuel. My dad, religious. So I grew up in the church, walked away from the church, because I really do feel like Christians are some of the most hypocritical, judgmental people
100%.
out there.
Yep.
And so I stepped away from it. And then when you think about raising a family, I think for me personally, I think about God. I think about my faith. I think about the Bible. I think first and foremost, whether you're religious or not, the Bible makes you a good person.
100%.
And me, I love a good person. Friendship, platonic, romantic. I want a good person first and foremost.
Right.
I also believe the Bible, or, you know, you could believe in whatever God you want to believe in. I think it's important to believe in a God, because it allows you to have some type of faith and some type of hope when things get tough. Right?
You're not on your own.
You're not just sitting in the darkness. You know what it feels like to have hope. You know what it feels like to have faith. But I live such a fast-paced life that I'm a content creator. I have my dream corporate job, unlimited PTO. I could do, you know, I ain't got no debt. My car's paid off. I got my crib. I'm single. You know, like, I could do whatever I want. I was on a plane 4 to 5 times a month for about 5 years. I would travel for work. Every single month I would take a vacation. I ain't not once stop and just say, you know, like, God, thank you so much for everything you do for me.
Yeah.
Without you, I wouldn't be here. I never took a moment and say, God, I really, I'm about to go into a new chapter. Please lead me throughout X, Y, and Z. I just did, I'm doing this.
I'm doing it. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And then I felt the rush. I was always rushing. I talked to one of my coworkers one day, and I was like, I think I'm gonna try to get back into church, but I'm really scared. I'm scared of getting back into church because I had all these experiences, and I didn't love that church experience.
Right.
He was like, I think I have the perfect book for you to read before you go think about going back to church. The book is called The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry. Man, I was reading this book and I'm like, a little too loud now. Not too much on me now.
You talking, you know what I'm saying?
Not too much on me now, but everything was just hitting me. I'm like, this is the life I'm living right now as we speak. And I had to start learning to slow down and making some proper changes in my life and being a lot more intentional with my life.
Yep.
So I was like, before I turn 30, I'm going to make a lot of those changes. Started going back to church. I left corporate. I started doing things that made me happy. Started spending a lot more time with my family, my friends. And then I read a lot of entrepreneur, self-improvement books and everything because I used to be a business coach. So I had to read a lot of those, the self-development books. So not only did I, start focusing on my faith, I started changing my thinking. I started thinking how I moved. So one of the biggest things I did outside of getting back with my faith was eliminating the word maybe from my life. So now I'm either yes or no. If it's a maybe, it's a no.
Yep.
If it's a yes, it's a yes.
Yep.
A month before the plant shop was open, I didn't know I was going to open a plant shop. I get a DM. I got a DM and it was like, hey, we have a space we think will be a great fit for you. You should come check it out. I'm like, I left corporate. For the first time in my life, I'm only working one job. I'm a content creator.
Yeah.
For the first time in my life, I go in there. I'm like, I could put a plant shop in here, and it felt right. So I opened a plant shop. Right. It wasn't anything I had anticipated, but because now I have a different type of faith. I'm walking blindly now.
Yeah.
Right. I'm walking by faith. I'm walking. I'm letting Him guide me.
You're knowing that your next step is already the stair is already there, even though you can't see it.
Yeah. You know. So I stopped. For somebody who used to be on a 2-year, 5-year, 10-year plan, I'm now on no plan.
No plan.
I'm taking what He puts in front of me plan now.
Yep.
And so I was like, I could put a plant shop here. So I put a plant shop there. I started coaching. I don't have time for it. I took a head coach, track coaching position, but I make time for it.
Yep.
But now I'm also learning to delegate. I'm learning to do a whole lot of other stuff just because I've learned to just, Nike ain't never lie when it said just do it.
Do it.
And when I say that, like, just do it. So I feel like the things that I do today, track was a big passion of my life and I loved track. I loved running. And now I could do that and give back to the community in a different way. It's something I enjoy.
Right.
That doesn't feel like work. Plans. It's something that I enjoy. That used to be a hobby. That doesn't feel like work. Creating content. I was a communications major. I could have been a social media manager. I didn't want to do that. I wouldn't have enjoyed that. But I do love editing. I do love creating. So now I found something that I enjoy doing that's a hobby that I can put time in and create full time, right?
Yep.
So for anybody who has a passion, they have a hobby if you got something you love doing,
just do it.
Just do it. Turn it part-time. Continue it. Make 15 minutes a day. Put 15 minutes a day towards for the next 365 days and see where you end up. Just do it. If you're scared, do it. But I do understand that when people are confused, they don't act.
Right.
Right? Do it with a plan. If you want to become a content creator, don't just quit your corporate job without a plan. I say I like a certain lifestyle, right? I like waking up and being like, you know what? If I didn't check my bank account statements for the next year, I could still live the same life.
Yeah, I'm good.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And so I worked 2 jobs majority of my life, and I saved so much. But when I was like, one day I'm probably gonna leave corporate because it's not feasible for me to do both.
Right.
I planned for years to where the day that I left corporate, I was like, if I don't make a lick from content creation for the next year, I could still live the same life I did today. So start small. I just start, make it consistent, make it feasible for where you're at in life, and then hopefully one day transitions to your full time, right? But have some sort of plan.
Yeah.
But pull that plug and just do it.
You know, it's crazy that you said that, right? Like, God is going to put your purpose and passion in you. And if you pursue that, great. Unfortunately, we have a lot of our Christian brothers and Christian sisters that try to be God themselves and try to tell you what to do and try to tell you what you need to do and all this stuff. And, oh, you're not doing this right, and that's why this is not happening.
Yeah.
My favorite 2 words right now in the whole world is shut up.
I know that's right.
Shut up.
Yeah.
And my thing is that we represent Jesus so many times in the wrong way. And it pushes people away from the faith. But like I tell people, it's when you read that book, like you said, it makes you a better person. But oftentimes when we think about Christianity, we think about the Christian that's our neighbor. Or the next person, or this person. We don't think about Jesus. You know, we don't think about God. We don't think about that. We like to correlate. Well, you say you're a Christian, but I see you drinking and smoking and doing all this stuff all the time. So how can I trust that? It's not for you to look through them to trust it. It's for you to look through the Word to trust it. You know what I mean? And so I'm just so happy that you got back to the faith because truly, I think and this is not. I know a lot of people get mad at me for saying this. Whatever, I don't care. I truly believe that God allows us to go through those dark times, right?
Yeah,
but He doesn't let His hand. He doesn't like let our hand go.
Yeah.
He holds us on while we're going through that and say, okay, you learning. All right, you ready to come back up? Come on, let's go.
Yeah.
His grace is sufficient and so good that He's not gonna let you go ever.
Yeah. It's the trials and tribulations, man.
Right.
You know, and so you gotta go through it.
You have to. If you don't go through it, you won't grow through it.
Yeah.
All right, so last question I want to ask you is something that we ask everybody on the podcast, and I would love to hear from you on this.
Okay.
What is something that you want to bring awareness to? Mr. Kossi, plant daddy himself.
Something I want to bring awareness to is choosing yourself. First and foremost before anything. And that's coming from somebody who I'm a giver, I'm a provider. I never chose myself. I know how to show for people, but I never knew how to show for myself. Yeah. But I went through a lot of trials and tribulations that landed me in therapy and everything. And majority of what I discovered, a lot of people go to therapy because they need help with a lot of, they need help with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
When I went to therapy, my therapist basically said, you need to learn to be selfish, right? You're always pouring into everybody else's cup, but they're never pouring into your cup the same way because not even because they don't want to. I don't allow them to because I've never shown them signs of ever actually needing help.
Right.
I've never shown them signs of actually being weak or in need because for me, especially being African, especially being a man, society could say what society wants to say, but I come from a patriotic mindset.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? I come from a country where therapy wasn't a thing.
Yep.
My dad ain't never come home and was like, hey, how are you doing? Talk to.
Yeah.
You need anything? You good?
You know what I'm saying? Give me a hug.
Here you go. Not even give me a hug. African dads don't do that. He might give me a belt. He's like, what you crying for? You had a bad day? Whoop it out of you. You get what I'm saying? But no. And so going from just being a giver all the time, I had to learn to be more selfish. So I had to find out what makes me happy, right? Through reading, through therapy, through just all the experiences. And the best thing I ever did for myself was choosing me. Right? It doesn't matter how much I pour into somebody else's cup. They'll never be able to fill my cup the way that I need my cup filled. But I also am not able to show. I'm gonna use a relationship analogy. A lot of the past relationships I used to choose, I chose because I was a fixer. So I was always trying to fix somebody. I wanted to feel like a provider. I always wanted to provide for somebody, and they never really knew how to show up for me because I never allowed them to. I was an enabler. That was a me issue.
Yep.
Today, now that I know exactly how I can make myself happy and the things that are important to me, anytime somebody, I don't even choose nobody no more.
Yeah.
I only allow people into my life if I'm dating. I'm only gonna allow somebody into my life who naturally fills my cup the way I like my cup filled.
Yep.
Because I already know how to do it for me.
Right.
If you can't do it for me,
right,
it's not for me.
What happens when I'm like on 20%?
You get what I'm saying? You can't give me 80, right? But for me, if you have 5%, I'm 95.
Yep.
Right, and so now because I know what my cup needs, it makes it easier for me to know who's coming into my space, but it also makes it 10 times harder for somebody else to get into my space. Because if you don't even got 50%, if you don't got 50%, you ain't even getting close. You're not even getting close to my cup.
No, not at all.
You get what I'm saying? If you got 80%,
Might be
I'm not perfect.
I
ain't perfect, so I'll take 80. I'm not perfect, so I'll take 80. You get what I'm saying? And so I think the best thing I've done ever do for myself was choose myself because they made me into the best person I could possibly be, the most healed person I could possibly be.
Yeah.
The most. Yeah.
The most Kossi you.
It's the most rounded, the most well-rounded person I can be, because it allows me to not only show up for myself, but it allows me to show up for my community, for my village, for my family, and for my friends too.
Yeah, and for your business.
And for my business.
You know what I mean? Because at the same time, we need to be able to have that same level of thinking when it comes to everything we do.
And you ask for one, I'm gonna give y'all two. Okay. A lot of times people ask me, how do you do the things that you do? Right? You own a plant shop, you create content full time. You're the head coach of a high school track team. You got 2 dogs, you got 400 plans. You travel. How do you do all these things? Man, I live a full circle life. So I don't ever really wake up and feel like I have a job, because the things that I do, I enjoy doing.
Yep.
And they bring some type of purpose or fulfillment to me. You get what I'm saying? And so if you're working a 9 to 5 that you hate, you got to figure out a way to change that. You got to figure out why you do it, right? But I do so many things on a daily basis, but because they fulfill me, it feels full circle.
Yep.
Right? I can wake up and I can go to the shop. I can wake up, I can go to the gym. I can wake up and I can edit. I can wake up, I live 5 lives in the same day, but they all make me complete. And so whatever you're doing, try to live a full circle life. Yeah. I think living a full circle life just makes things so much better, and it makes you whole. Most people spend 36 to 56, 72 hours at work a week. If you can't put that into a full circle moment with everything else you do, you're never really going to be truly happy or satisfied. No. But if you can find some joy in those things where all those pieces fill different buckets of your life that fill one cup, you're solid.
You're solid.
Yeah.
And I love that you said that last part, because I truly don't believe that God created anybody to work for Costco. I don't believe that he created anybody to work at Walmart or these big corporations. I believe that he gave all of us this innate passion and ability to do something great that only we could do. Are you going to lean into it or not?
I say lean into it. For somebody who used to be scared, because I love security, I say lean into it, because you're never gonna find your full potential just being content. And I think you're never gonna find your full potential if you're just content. And we used to be slaves. That's what change. That's what change do to you. You get content into a certain lifestyle that you're put into. But if you break those chains and go out of your norms, I've been in rooms where I'm the only one of my kind.
Yep.
And boy, do I hate it, right? But I'm going to take advantage that, you know what, I'm able to break this social norm, this social barrier, and I hope I can empower somebody else to do the exact same.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like I said earlier, if you have a hobby, something you love, take that and turn it into a part-time thing and make it a full-time thing.
Exactly.
Being an entrepreneur, working for yourself or chasing your dreams, it's not easy. But if you can make it full circle, if you love it, you're going to be all right. There's a reason why people with ADHD, they may not be the smartest.
Nope.
But they thrive. They thrive in life because they're obsessed, and they can focus on
that,
the one thing that they love, and that one thing becomes the best thing in the world, and paves whatever way of life they want for themselves. So.
Yeah, and like you said earlier, man, the Halftime family, I hope y'all heard that some of these plants sometimes might just need a little water, might just need a little bit more sun, or might need to be moved away from the sun. And so look at that into your life and say, hey, you know what? If this is not making me happy, if I'm depressed, I'm sad, you should ask yourself, do you need more water? Do you need to change the scenery? You know what I'm saying? Or do you need to be closer to something? So again, man, Plant Daddy, I can't thank you enough for sitting down with me, man. I'm so excited for the family to tap in with you. And we're going to make sure that we put his social media here so y'all can tap in with him. Make sure y'all give my man a follow. Man, I can't thank you enough, bro. I love you, dog. I can't wait to see what you do.
My boy, I love you too, man.
Man, it's about to go
Much
down.
love,
And
always.
with that said, Halftime family, we out.